is Lucas Spielberg.
And this is Ashton Spears.
And we definitely watch WGS-TV. We're going to own it. Definitely going to own it.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, really. Respect my veteran!
Hello everyone, welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on youtube.com/Wrestlegamer and Zephix TV. I'd also like to make a quick announcement before we get to what we're going to talk about on this video. WGS-TV can now also be heard on SoundCloud and Podbean, so be sure you check them out, if you're listening to us right now on that as well. So anyway, guys and gals, what we're going to be talking about here is Macho Man, the Randy Savage story. I had a chance to finish watching this. First off, the documentary, it was amazingly awesome. You find out things about his life. Like, for one thing, I had no idea that Randy Savage, first off, a lot of people think that he got the name Macho Man from wrestling, but apparently the documentary disproves that, because they even say in the documentary that he got it from his fellow high school baseball team players. And it was a really interesting. They go through his life. They kind of chronicle everything he did in his life, especially when it pertains to his marriage with Miss Elizabeth, both on screen and off screen. Because apparently, when he first made his debut, he was actually already married to Miss Elizabeth, and then we also kind of find out a little bit about some of his, I don't want to call it flaws in a word, because I really don't want to talk down about Randy Savage, but apparently he also had a lot of jealousy issues. He never let Miss Elizabeth, when they were together, outside of the dressing room, only when he was out there. And I think that's probably one of the reasons that led up to their divorce. And it was great. Lanny Poffo, for the lack of a better term, and I don't want to be rude or anything like that, but he has not aged gracefully. Not in the slightest. And it's not meant to be rude or disrespectful in any way. I'm just calling it like I see it. And who knows, maybe years and years down the road, probably the same thing will happen to me. You never know. But the documentary is really interesting. I highly recommend, for one thing, if you want to get this, to watch the documentary first. It is indeed a very interesting documentary to go through, and it's and it tells a story about Randy Poffo, aka Randy Savage's story. About it, also how he gets into wrestling. About as great as he was at cutting promos, I never really knew that when he was first starting out that he was actually incredibly nervous about cutting promos. And we also find out how he came up with a lot of his signature catchphrases. When he starts the ad campaign that he had with Slim Jim, and that's one of the reasons in my mind that the Slim Jim company was put on the map. It was due to Macho Man Randy Savage. If it wasn't for him in the ad campaign he did with him and the WWE at the time, I don't think Slim Jim would be the company that it is today, in a sense. So it really is something to look forward to. It is really, I don't want to give away too much here on the review. I just wanted to touch on a few things that were on there, because I thought, like I said, it was a very interesting documentary. It's definitely something worth sitting through, guys. I'm telling you, it is. If you're a fan of classic wrestling, if you grew up in the era in the 80s and the 90s when you had the opportunity to see Macho Man Randy Savage wrestle growing up, I'll tell you what, this is a must-have. Now, as far as matches are concerned, a lot of people are probably wondering, why aren't some of his, key matches up on there, like WrestleMania 3 and, his matchup with Ultimate Warrior, which I think was at WrestleMania 6. Well, it really wouldn't have been necessary because, they've already released a compilation DVD about 2 or 3 years ago. The Macho Madness DVD where Matt Striker and Maria hosted it when they showed all of his key matches, so it really wouldn't have been necessary. In fact, I think it would have been more like a waste of time to put those same matches on here. So what they did is they showed a lot of his stuff from the 80s and the 90s, chronicling, possibly his wins after the Intercontinental Championship, his wins after the World Wrestling, a lot of the stuff that he did at Madison Square Garden for the WWE. Like, for instance, he did a street fight against Bad News Brown. He had fights with Ted DiBiase, the Honky Tonk Man and the Hart Foundation, steel cage match. He did a lot of stuff. They even showed the matchup that really kind of sparked the feud he had with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, which led to the match they had at WrestleMania 3, which indeed was, again, probably still one of the most talked about WrestleMania matches, and a lot of people consider that match to be probably one of the best WrestleMania matches of all time. For people to still be talking about it today, it definitely carries some weight, in my opinion. Then they do show some of his ladder work, and I think the last thing they do show on here was the matchup he had with Diamond Dallas Page at Halloween Havoc of 1997, and that match in itself was definitely something to watch as well. So I gotta say, like me being growing up in the 80s and the 90s, getting the chance to watch Macho Man Randy Savage, of course this was a must-have. To kind of appreciate what wrestling is today, you also have to have a healthy respect of what it was in the past, in my opinion. And if you don't have a healthy respect of what wrestling was in the past, which is kind of the backbone of what it is today, then you can't really call yourself a true wrestling fan, in my opinion. You have to understand wrestling's past in order to appreciate wrestling in the present and wrestling in the future, in my opinion. So I highly recommend for anyone who's a collector of DVDs like me, check this DVD out, watch the documentary, learn about the life of Macho Man Randy Savage, and I promise you, you will not be disappointed. My official score on this DVD is a 4 out of 5. Again, it is a great sit-through. It is a great documentary, and the choices of matches, like I've already said, they released a compilation DVD about 2 or 3 years ago featuring his key matches. If you want to look for a DVD set that has his key matches, go get Macho Madness. That's the name of the compilation DVD. WWE on their website is even selling a collector's edition, which features a T-shirt. By the way, I hate the fact that they don't offer the shirt in my size, and as you guys can tell, I'm not exactly a small fella. The Macho Man glasses, and both DVD sets, Macho Madness and this one. And trust me, if I had about $100 to throw away, I would probably get it. But in the meantime, if you want to look for the key matches from Macho Man's storied career, get that compilation DVD, the Macho Madness compilation DVD. But if you want to learn about his life and his story behind Macho Man Randy Savage, I highly recommend Macho Man, the Randy Savage story. Trust me, guys, you will not be disappointed. So again, my official score is a 4 out of 5. What I want to know now from you guys out there, yes, the viewers and subscribers of WGS-TV, your thoughts about Macho Man, the Randy Savage story. If you had the opportunity to sit through it like I have, I definitely want to know what you guys think. Definitely want to hear what you guys have to say. Be sure you put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Again, WGS-TV can also be heard on SoundCloud and Podbean, so be sure if you've listened to us that you hit that follow button. Don't forget to follow me on the Facebook page, facebook.com/WGS-TV, and don't forget to please subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/Zephix TV Network if you haven't already. So with that being said, I'm the WrestleGamer, Double B Billy Boudreaux, saying thank you very much for watching.